If I could share with you an industry that Warren Buffett has been quoted as saying will be the largest transfer of wealth in our lifetimes, an industry that Bill Gates has now been quoted as saying is the next major market to be involved with, could I have your attention? Hi, thanks so much for being here. My name is Dan Piper, and over the next few minutes I'm going to share with you a company by the name of CCM, short for Consumer Choice Marketing. Consumer Choice Marketing was founded in 2008. This company is 100% debt-free. It's solid, it's stable, it's experienced, but most significantly to you, it's committed to your financial freedom. Our company was founded by a gentleman by the name of Doug Teske. He was a professional hockey player, and as his career began to wind down, he found himself involved with the deregulation of energy over in Europe. Moves back to Toledo, Ohio, and starts a company called Consumer Choice Marketing. Doug is all but famous in this industry. Doug wrote over $80 million worth of energy billing. Hooks up with a gentleman by the name of Bill Hoffman, who's our Chief Marketing Officer. Now, Bill Hoffman is a legend in his own right. Bill Hoffman has been in this industry, and he's a who's who in the marketplace today. And the third part of our equation is a company by the name of IGS Energy, who now owns a percentage of our company. It's been established over 23 years ago. They have over 1 million existing customers. They're over $1 billion corporation. When you get a competitive guy who wants to win, like Doug Teske, when you get a guy like Bill Hoffman, who has been in the marketplace, is a matured and seasoned veteran, then you get a company like IGS Energy that knows the industry inside and out. My friends, we have scored a home run. Now, our industry is amazing, and most people would tell you that a tidal wave is coming. So what is this big tidal wave that we hear about? Well, it starts with the deregulation of energy. So what is energy deregulation? Our federal government has begun to break up the monopolies. And what they've said is from now on, one of two things will take place. You will either deliver the energy through your natural gas or transmission lines, or you'll be the wholesaler of energy that will initially retail the energy back to the consumer. Same energy. We simply show people how to reduce their energy expenditures. Now, currently in the United States, in the states that we're deregulated in, which would consist of 34 states, this is a $750 billion a year industry and growing. And if you encapsulate the entire United States, it's over a $1.4 trillion a year industry. How amazing is it to be able to say that you're involved with a $1.4 trillion a year industry? Now, CCM's target, we simply want to capture just 1% of the United States energy billing over the next 5 years. Making this take place would generate over $25 million a month to independent brokers, just like you and myself. Now, our product line is referred to as the perfect product line, and the reason is because everyone uses it. There's no cost to switch. Nothing changes for the consumer. In reference to energy, their bill still comes from the same place. They still write their check and mail it to the same address. As a matter of fact, if they have an emergency of some sort, they still contact the same number. Nothing changes. There's no inventory. There's no deliveries. There's no collections. See, we also offer additional services. Of course, we offer electricity and natural gas, and it varies by marketplace. But we also offer many of the top internet providers, many of the top cable providers. What about the cell phone industry? Whether it be T-Mobile or Verizon or Sprint or Alltel. What about the satellite companies for TV? Whether it be Dish Network or DirecTV or AT&T Uverse. Guys, what you'll identify at Consumer Choice Marketing is we cover the gamut, and there's lots of other services that we offer. But the genius behind our model, and what I love about our model so much, is that we simply teach people how to lower their expenditures. In other words, we create value in the marketplace. You know, people ask us all the time, they look at this and they say, where in the world does all the money come from that they pay their brokers? Well, it's quite simple, actually. The money that gets generated by brokers simply comes from marketing and advertising dollars. Let me give you an example. The last time you drove down the highway, I'm sure, like myself, you see billboards all down the highway. My question to you is, when was the last time you looked at one? What about TV commercials? As you're watching TV at night, how many of the commercials do you get engulfed into and you really pay close attention to what's taking place? You see, what CCM has been able to do is they simply contact Fortune 500 companies and they ask them a very pointed question. What does it cost you to get a customer? And how about you don't pay us a penny until we bring you one? But once we bring you that customer, you're simply going to release a part of your marketing budget back to us. And guys, that's where our money comes from. So instead of paying Madison Avenue, they pay us to gather customers. So what does it cost to get started in CCM? In order to get started here, you probably want to purchase what's called an OUS, an online utility store. That online utility store is going to cost you $329. It's a one-time fee. It's not an annual fee, just a one-time fee. Then it's going to cost you $39 a month for a licensing fee. Now your online utility store is going to be open 24/7 every single day of the year. And all we do is begin to direct traffic towards that website. And people can simply go to your site. They can have access to all the companies, access to electricity and natural gas providers. We're also going to give you a $49 welcome kit. We're going to give you automated e-commerce. You're also going to have something called your back office. Now your back office is kind of like your built-in CPA, if you will. It'll keep track of your business, all the numbers. We get paid every Friday. You'll see exactly what it is that you've generated this week. It will show you the different brokers that are in your organization, how many bills have been gathered. But the limited amount of time I have your attention, I want to spend my time sharing with you something that we refer to as access to our commercial assistance program. Now here is where it gets exciting, and this is exactly how it works. Let's just say that you wanted to switch someone's gas or electric bill. I would simply walk into a place of business, and if you can say this one statement, I promise you, there's a high probability you can have a lot of success here. I would simply say, I don't know if I can help you or not, but if you'll give me a copy of your last month's bill, I'll have it analyzed for free to make sure you're not being overcharged. Now, when that person gives me a copy of their last month's bill, I can upload it through my back office and I can send an email directly to our commercial assistance program. We'll refer to that as our CAP division. Once the CAP division receives a copy of that bill, the CAP division takes over. This is where the experts are so significant. They're going to take a copy of your bill. They're going to reverse bid that bill out to over 11 different companies to create the best value for that consumer. Then the CAP division gets a hold of that place of business. They close the deal. They complete the transaction. The only other thing that takes place is you get paid month after month after month every time someone pays that bill. Let me take the time to share with you a few analysis and show you the type of savings that our company has been able to offer many different companies. So when we generate one of these analysis forms, what you're going to begin to identify at the top of the page is what type of business it is. So this was a large church. This church generated 914,822 kilowatts of electricity. We saved them over $29,859, which was a 37% savings. Now, if they wanted to do a 2-year transaction, you'll see that the savings just increases from there. At the bottom of the page, from January clear through December, you'll see in red what the customer is currently paying, and green what we were able to save them. Let me share with you another one. The next one is a large food service. This food service generated 22,368,000 kilowatts of electricity, which was over $190,000 worth of savings, which is a 14% savings. Now, we make $1,000 per million kilowatts of electricity as a CCM broker. We make 6 cents per MCF on natural gas. So in this specific bill that I'm showing you here, if you'd have been the broker that gathered these 22,368,000 kilowatts worth of electricity, you would have generated $22,000 off of one bill. See, what you're going to begin to identify here with CCM is we have multiple different points of leverage. And again, the only thing we do is create value. Let me share with you one more. Here's a metal manufacturer that used 420,000 million cubic foot of natural gas. Now, as a CCM broker, you'll generate an additional 6 cents per MCF on natural gas. So whether it be electricity or natural gas, the remarkable part of this is CCM closes over 70% of all energy bills gathered, and perhaps even more significantly, we have over a 96% retention ratio on energy. That's exciting. This is just an example of what we're able to do here at CCM. I think you would agree with me that this is a valuable document to a place of business. Remember, the key word with CCM, the brilliancy of what this company's been able to accomplish, is we just add value. So with our company, we simply do two things here. We simply gather name brand companies, loyal customers, and then we begin to introduce the business to other people so we can acquire additional distribution points. So in order to get started in CCM, the first thing that you'll need to do is to gather a few customers. So let's say you made the decision to become an IB, an independent broker, and you purchased an OUS, an online utility store. We're going to share with you how to switch maybe an electric bill, perhaps a gas bill, maybe an office phone. Just because you gathered 3 customers, the company is going to generate to you a $100 bill for gathering those first 3 customers. Gather a total of 10 customers, the company is going to generate you another $100 bill. So you're already making money in the company. And remember, every time that someone pays a utility bill, you get paid. Part 2 of our equation is we now want to begin to build a team. So let's just say you made that decision, you became an IB, an independent broker with CCM, you purchased an online utility store. I'm simply going to begin to share with people what it is that I did to see if they too would like to become an IB, an independent broker. So I share the business with my colleague Sarah. Sarah becomes an IB, she purchases an OUS, and that generated you a $100 bill. It's also going to generate 10% off of all the billing that Sarah begins to gather. You say this works out pretty good. I think I'll do this again. I share it with my friend Mike. Mike becomes a CCM broker. He purchased his OUS. You just generated another $100 bill, and you're now making a 10% match pay over Mike. You see, the genius behind our model is everybody's going to begin to gather customers. And we get paid that $100 because of why? Because they purchased an OUS, which is a licensed product that gives them a service, which is access to the commercial assistance program. The third part of our equation is once you get your first 2 people in the business and they purchase their OUSs, yes, you're making a 10% match pay, and yes, you made a $100 bill when they purchased that OUS, but you've now promoted to the title of managing broker when that 3rd broker joins your organization. But you're now making a 20% match pay of what the 3rd and 4th person generate off of all the billing and a $150 bill. Here's where the magic takes place. I understand that you just signed up, you just become an independent broker. The genius now is the company's going to pay you $1,100 because you've already gathered 4 independent brokers. They purchased an online utility store, and those folks have already gathered at least 3 customers each. Have a total of 12 brokers in your organization in the first 30 days, the company's going to generate you another $2,200. Now keep in mind that anytime broker number 3 or broker number 4 brings someone into their organization and they purchase an OUS, to infinity, folks, they're then going to pay you a 10% match pay and $50 bills. Again, to infinity. See, the key to our industry, the key to creating wealth is to gather leverage. We acquire additional distribution points. The third promotion in our company is referred to as regional director. As a regional director, the match pay continues to go up. You're now making a 30% override. You're also making a $200 bill when that person purchases an OUS, $100 bills to Infinity, and 20% match pay to Infinity anytime another broker comes in the organization and they purchase the online utility store. Something magical takes place as soon as you've gathered 12 brokers as a regional director. The company then generates you a $1,000 bill every single time that 12 brokers join and they've gathered 3 customers each. So 12 brokers come into the business, purchase an OUS, they gather 3 customers, you just generated another $1,000. And every single time that takes place, you get paid that $1,000. Have a total of 100 brokers join your organization, purchase their OUSs, the company is then going to generate you a $10,000 bonus. And this just continues to occur every single time 100 brokers have joined your regional code and beyond. So with our company, what you're going to begin to find is that we basically have 5 major levels of compensation. Everybody who joins CCM starts off as an IB. Put 2 brokers in your organization, you advance to managing broker, and then to regional director, executive director, national director, etc. But look at the compensation. It just begins to grow exponentially. Now with our company, you're also going to find that we have a customer retention bonus. I mean, this thing just keeps getting better and better. Anytime you personally sponsor a broker and they purchased an OUS and gathered 3 customers, you're going to now generate $5 every single month. Anytime they bring somebody in, it goes to $2, and then it just begins to grow from there. So I realize that math works in perfect worlds, but people don't. In a perfect world, just off the customer retention, it would be over $38,000 a month. But let's say you get right out of awful just into terrible at this business. With a 90% failure ratio, guys, it's still an extra $3,800 a month. How do we begin to change people's lives with $3,800 a month? I think you would agree with me that that is significant enough money for most people to absolutely change their lives. Now, as I conclude, I want you to think about something. Every major company that have hit exponential growth goes through a phase referred to as momentum. We are approaching that momentum. Now, for the first 5 years, we have begun to lay a foundation. And at this point, we are ready to explode. We want to thank you for taking the time to look at this. You know, in the United States today, everybody's looking for a better way. You know, we're not asking anybody to do anything different. As a matter of fact, I can show you statistically today that people will pay their cell phone, internet, TV, electric, gas before they even pay their rent or mortgage payment. And we're not saying that's a good thing. We're just telling you it's a factual thing. And we'll never have this time again. This specific point in history with deregulation of energy, listen to Warren Buffett, listen to the Bill Gates of the world, and I think you'll agree with me that this is the most unique business model in America today. You know, it's the start that stops most people. Make a decision to get started. Over the next few years, we're going to see exponential growth like we never dreamed possible, and I believe you could say the same. We would love to have you on the team. You make that decision to become an independent broker. We're going to help you get your website set up. We're going to get your back office set up. We're going to teach you how to gather customers. We're going to pull you into our family, and we're going to begin to build this thing in a big time way. May God bless you as you build this business. If you'd like more information on what you've just seen, please feel free to contact me. You can reach me by phone at area code 614-554-4029, or you can email me at dan@myteamvision.com.